Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymas, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up? How's it going? You guys hear me?
What? I hear you.
Okay, cool. Did you hear the intro music too?
Affirm.
All right, cool.
Now I'm just trying to add the links to everything
I just
now
checked
that we have them.
and it was playing, and I checked YouTube and it was playing, but it wouldn't put up a notice. I couldn't get it to post any of that earlier today.
I forwarded this one to the Weird Wednesday page.
It should be on that page, but
Yeah, but whatever the reason, it's telling us we need, I guess, technical support because
hmm,
everything else. I went through a bunch of it today too. But we're
sweet.
here.
We're here.
We're here. So I'm going to connect the YouTube link to the bottom of everything and then the Rumble link. And I even had my password, like I said, so I can get it in the Rumble on here. I have my password for YouTube. I got locked out trying to join this, so I wasn't able to sign into YouTube to try that. But at least I did get the password, like I said I would.
Jeez. Jeez Louise. It's always something.
You think it's solar flares or just bad luck? Because,
I don't know.
they're saying we're going to have that big Earth-wide blackout in the next coming days.
Yep. Big giant earthquake off of California and Washington and all that.
That's supposed to be later in the year, the volcano.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to my counselor yesterday, I did have 3 dropped calls um, in our hour talk where it's just like beep, beep, beep. Or on her end, she'd hear me like fade out and drop. And then when I was talking to DMB, the same thing. It was like all gargly gook and garbly goop on my side, and they couldn't hear me. And
Huh.
it kept sounding like it was going to drop. Because those do happen during solar flares, but I'm just afraid they're going to say, yes, this is big enough. We can blame. Well, we're going to turn off everything so people can't learn. People are waking up to like the truth right now.
Yeah.
So let's turn it off so they can't hear it. And they're already conditioned to think, that this solar flare is going to wipe out Earth and the satellites. So we have our scapegoat. People aren't going to go crazy. Too bad.
Yep.
But I want to be wrong on that.
What's up, Ron? How's it going, Azariana? So Azariana didn't get a notification. Ron did get a notification.
Oh.
Who knows? Selective notifications, I guess. No rhyme, no reason why it doesn't work. No explanation. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't get it to post on Facebook or on YouTube or on Rumble. I couldn't get it to post the show thing on there for nothing. I tried for like 2 hours until I was ready to pick my computer up and throw it against the wall.
Well, from everything I read, we are compatible and like up to par. It never, like, ever since we switched, when you go to events, it just shows past from like February 14th or something.
Yeah.
But you have always been able to have the link to send to me that kind of gets us all in. And this is the first time that you didn't even have that.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff did kind of work before and it has changed. Like what you pay for it and now it like doesn't work.
I know. The free version was working and I go ahead and buy it and now it starts giving me a bunch of crap. Go figure. Yeah, I don't know if we're on Rumble or not. It says sending data. So I don't know what that means. Let's see. Yeah, looks like maybe we're on there. I don't know. It says live, but I don't see. Yeah, we're on there. Cool. So we're on Rumble as well. I'll put the link in here just in case anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
have.
still working on that myself.
That's the Rumble link.
I'm still adding YouTube link under everything.
Cool. How's everybody been doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Are you guys having dropped calls and weird stuffs like that? Murphy's Law acting up.
I just I've been drinking that element electrolyte mix drink stuff.
Yeah, how is it?
It's good. I like it. It's kind of expensive. So you can go on their website and get the ingredients to make it yourself. And
about that one.
Just made it myself for like 15 cents. I mean, you got to buy the bulk ingredients, which, ends up costing about $60. But
once you break it down.
Yeah. If we were ordering Element and it was like buy 2 boxes, get 1 free, but it still comes out to like $80 or $90 and comes out to like $1.50 a dose or so, whereas making it as a whole have a lot cheaper and it tastes pretty damn close.
Darcy likes it too.
Yeah, we got chocolate and chocolate caramel that we put in our coffee.
And I thought it was like water. I was gonna say, I don't know about like chocolate water flavor.
Yeah, nah, it's like a powder mix. We put that in coffee, or you can use hot water, I guess, if you want it like hot chocolate or something. But I haven't tried that. I just put it in water. In coffee. Dirt.
Coffee.
What's up, weirdos?
What other flavors do they have? Some of them I'm sure you could put like in water.
Yeah, my favorite. Yeah, I mix all the others in water. Citrus, which is kind of what I made right here. It's It's the 3 ingredients, and then I put a little bit of lemon and lime juice in it, and a little tiny bit of stevia, because that stevia goes a long way.
Yeah,
Put it in
it
my
does.
coffee this morning, and I was like, oh, way too sweet.
That's
I
what
can't
Jeff and I
wait.
used to always buy, the big pink can of stevia.
Yeah. Yeah. My phone's been acting stupid. Obviously, my computer was acting like it was on a mental sabbatical today. Or maybe it was just me. I've been acting that way too. Ever since my surgery, I got Swiss cheese brain.
Me too. My brain is, I've already told you like a 15-minute thing about how my brain is gone.
Yep.
People are complaining all over the place about being exhausted, like so tired.
Yeah.
I was reading a guy who is like a solar scientist and talks about, like, breaks down what's going on and all that. But nobody was talking about the video. She's like, every person in there was like saying how unbelievably tired they are.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's not just me.
Yeah, and it's like, I can only did we talk about this last week? I can only like compare it to mono.
Yeah. I don't know. I know I'm tired because of the AFib stuff.
Yeah, because you got all that on top of it.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, how you doing today? And I was like, yeah, just sitting here and nodding off in my computer chair. I'll just be watching something and be like,
How's your headache now?
it's pretty good now. I ended up taking some, drinking some of this. I don't know if it's because I'm more dehydrated or more because I haven't been drinking anything with caffeine in it. And I just have that nagging caffeine addiction headache
Oh, that's right.
shit. So I ended up taking some, normally, if I get a headache, I'll take like Excedrin migraine. I'll take 2 or 3 of those, and it usually takes care of it. But I only took one just to see how my heart would be, because I'm kind of freaked out about it going way up. And, I was checking my pulse and stuff 30, 40 minutes after I took it, and I was like, it's like 80. Okay, I'll take another one. So I took the other one, and it seemed to help my head. So at the moment, it's not pounding like it has been all day.
And again, that's a hard thing to diagnose because the electrolytes is something that they're saying, to get more of right now anyway. And then with solar storms, you get more dehydrated, like you get more headaches, head pounding, dizziness, lack of concentration, waking up at 3 a.m, like all sorts of different things, hot flashes. But dehydration is one of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, I didn't even think about your caffeine withdrawal because you just went from hardcore, like pressing every golden last drip out of the bean,
Yep. To nothingness.
like curating like the strongest freaking way to.
I mean, I make my coffee really. I make it really bold, really thick, whatever.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, Lori, I'm not really supposed to take Excedrin migraine because it has 65 milligrams of caffeine in it. But, when my head's been hurting for 3 days straight, I just say screw it. And I had to try it because 3 days of headache, even though I'm used to headaches, it was starting to tax on me. Starting to make me a little bit mental.
Yeah, you don't want to step on someone's chest or rip their throat out.
Yeah, that's usually what I take is exactly. It's usually all I've been taking is Tylenol. But figured I'd take one and see how I was doing, and I was doing okay, so I took another one and seemed to help. Not going to be an everyday thing though. Wow,
Need to
6
get
in the
the
morning.
edge off.
Yeah, yeah. I get a headache's one thing, but like 3 days of a headache. I get in the car and I just turn into an asshole because everybody drives like complete crap. So I'm yelling, I'm road raging at everybody. I'm like, dude, chill, just let
You
it
can
go.
only take
You
so
stupid.
much.
Yeah, driving's not good for me. Driving in traffic is not good for me. What happened? People just drive like crap now. Total crap.
There was a car. Oh my gosh! It's like 6 lanes of traffic, and it's like got the invisible like island, but it's supposed to be an island. And there's a turn right here. Commuter truck. This little car outside lane whips around, just decides to flip a bitch right in the middle, right where the turn is. I'm just, damn, they don't give up.
Nope. Yeah, I had a guy tonight, get to fly up and get in the lane in front of me, like wedge in. And I look in my rearview mirror, there's nobody behind me for like a mile. I'm like, really? You gotta like drive like a total ass hat and like cut in front of me to where I gotta hit the brakes.
And then you end up got to look at them at this light or at the stop sign. So you're sitting
Yeah.
there like, oh my gosh.
Look at that. We're at the same light.
Yeah.
No difference in where we're at other than you're a jackass.
Then you need to just calm down.
It's like when you wish you had one of those James Bond cars that could just push the button. Machine guns come up. Go back down and hide. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I used to say I wanted one with like a dump scoop on the front, a scooped up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I just go like this and just like a bucket and it goes whoop and just throws them over my head. Whoop, like a dump truck. Get out of the way.
People are
Amazing.
So yeah, haven't had much craziness happening around my town. Well, that I've heard of. Of course, I haven't been checking everything out, but
Getting the word on the street.
yeah. I'm just going to take Florida just how it is. I like it here. Except today, it was pretty damn hot, I got to say. The heat is coming on early. I usually take 3 weeks in August off for playing disc golf because it's just too stupidly hot out there. But, well, this year I'm taking off a little more than that because, I had a heart attack and all that. But, yeah. It's pretty hot. Yeah. Hit the button, drop the oil slick, smoke shield. Yeah, I do listen to meditation music. We put some music on the other night. Well, it wasn't really music, it was tones, frequencies.
Oh, those are good. Yeah.
And we slept like rocks. The dog was like, the dog was snoring. I slept.
You get the right combination of that stuff going. Ooh, yeah. Was there other music like with the tones, or was it just strictly tones?
I think there was some music with it. I was out so fast. I couldn't tell you what it even sounds like, but
or some
I
white
know,
noisy kind of stuff.
I know it knocked me out, and I
Where did
slept
you
good.
find it?
You know, it's just on YouTube. I'm always leery, about like links that I don't know. It's like, tones or
And what they're
binary,
putting
yeah, like
in the tone. Just saying.
next thing you know, I'll be on the roof trying to shoot Trump, going, "What am I doing? Why am I doing?"
Or you're like clucking like a chicken.
Yeah, running around naked down St. George Street, barking like a dog. Yeah, I'm always leery. I'm like, what are they putting in this? But yeah, it's funny when my physical therapist was here. He was like, "I'm going to teach you some breathing exercises and some meditation." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm already ahead of the game on that on you." So that's what got me through at least half of my stay at the hospital. I'd start freaking out and just be like, "Nope, just breathe, just breathe."
And a little bit of trauma disassociation.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I got out of the surgery, I was laying there in the recovery room and they pulled the tube and stuff out of my throat. And, I'm kind of panicky and all, but I was just like, I kept telling myself, just breathe. Your body feels like you got ran over by a freight train right now, but you're still breathing. Pain lets you know you're alive. So just breathe.
Like the song.
Yeah.
Just breathe. Was that hard to breathe? Like after it had been doing it?
Yeah, it was hard.
Was that like for you to all of a sudden, like, it's kind of like when you're scuba diving the first time and you have to get used to the fact that you're able to breathe through that thing. Is it the same when they like take it out for like that split second?
Yeah, and I couldn't take deep breaths because, I just had my chest ripped open and all that. I was breathing real shallow, but, every day, they gave me that little breathing apparatus thing, where you got to suck on it and
Oh, did you take it home? Did you get to take it home for like
yeah.
$500?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, $500 little plastic breather thing. But yeah, you keep the ball in between the two levels, and at first I'm like barely getting it to 500, and then the next day I'm like 750. Next day up to 1,000. I just gradually got it up, and I'm like, there's no way anybody can get it up to like 3,000 or 4,000, but I can now. Yeah, Darcy kept saying, "You got your suck buddy," and I was like, did I get that at Hustler of Hollywood? I think. My suck buddy, what?
My Sally suck, huh? Oh, I just want to real fast. Happy birthday, Heather. I hope you had a very, very special day today. Your suck buddy. Do you use it often?
Yeah. I still use it. I was using it every day. I'm kind of slacked off, but I got it out there. If I'm watching videos or whatever, I suck on it. That's what she said. Yeah, when I was in the hospital, I got this thing. It's got a hose on it, and I'm like, my nurse is in there. It was this kind of young girl, and I'm like sucking on it, and I was like, "Where do you fill the bowl on this thing?" And she just kind of looked at me like real weird.
But did she get it and like thought, well, I still have to be professional, or did she have no clue what you're talking about?
I don't think she actually had I think she went out and looked it up because she came back later that afternoon and we were just sitting there talking. She was like drawing blood or something, and she was talking, and then I said something like, I don't know, something about Billy Strings, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my my boyfriend just went to the Billy String show, but I didn't go because everybody there smokes weed, and I have never smoked weed my entire life. I'm 28 years old. I've never smoked weed. I'm like, well, good for you, you know? And she's like, he said it wasn't bad. So, yeah, when I said, where do you feel the ball on this? She was probably like, honestly, didn't have a clue.
And then she's letting you know, like, yeah, I don't smoke weed.
Yep.
And I have a boyfriend.
Yep.
That's what I got out of it.
She was pretty cool. All the nurses were good. They're real good. The aftercare, like my physical therapist and my home nurses were awesome, but man, I was struggling to get some medication today. You know, they're like,
yeah, what's up with that?
I'm supposed to take. I had 4 medicines that I was out of. Like today was the last day. I got 2 of them yesterday. So, okay, that's cool. So the other 2, you know, I'm like, I need the other 2. I mean, you guys are the ones that told me I have to take them. You know, I got to take this blood thinner. So, because I'm an AFib and you don't want me to get a blood clot, I'm out of Eliquis. Well, we can't do it. Your pharmacist has to do it.
Oh, the blood clot thing's a big deal, too.
So I call the pharmacy and they're like, no, we don't have an order from your doctor. I'm like, well, my doctor said. It's like going back and forth. I'm like, look, the bottom line is I'm out of it. I don't have any more.
Unacceptable.
So, figure it out, you know? And we called like 3 doctors' offices today. And of course, you can't talk to a real person. You got to talk to the freaking answering machine. I will call you back. They didn't call back. They put it on my app. I've got this health app thing. So it showed up on there that one of my prescriptions was ready for pickup. So I went to get it. And I'm like, what about the other one? And they're like, what other one? The one I asked about earlier, the Eliquis. No, we don't have an order for that.
Do you have a record that you have been taking it or you had it? Or is this something new that they wanted you to take?
Yeah, I've been taking it for the last 30 days.
Okay, so then that you say, I need a refill on this one right here, and you need to call my doctor and say, send in the refill. Like, what are you trying to do? Get me back in the chair?
Exactly. So I had to call. Darcy called my cardiologist or somebody. Talked to them, finally got a person on the phone. And they said, oh, yeah, we'll call it in. So go back to the pharmacy, and they're like, no, nobody's called anything in. Like, Jesus, man.
Our system is going down the tubes like everywhere. This is just ridiculous. This is not right.
Tonight I got a text that my prescription is ready. So somebody finally connected the dots.
Lori so you know that you have to now do this days before you're going to run out. Start the process like days before. Like, hey, yo, my stuff's going to be due next week. I just want to make sure I have no problems. Can we get it in queue so the day it's due, it'll be ready?
Yep. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And, you know, they were like, oh, your insurance won't pay for a 90-day supply of this medicine. So I'm like, 30. Okay, so give me 30, you know? They told me I may only need to take it for 30 days. Well, I got AFib, so I'm going to be taking a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Whatever. Give me 30 days. I don't have to have 90-day supply.
Yeah, just because they prescribed 90, change the script to 30.
Anyways. Yeah, I take like about that many, Lori. I take Metropolol. I don't know. I can't even name them all. I don't have the list in front of me, but I take really like 8 or 9, but 3 of those, one of them is like a stomach pill because I take a handful of pills and then I feel like I want to puke. So I take a stomach pill with it. The other one's a multivitamin.
Anti-nausea,
What's that?
anti-nausea or
Yeah.
anti-acid.
Yeah, it's like Pepsid or something. It's one of those things. Um, and then I take a multivitamin, and then I take an organ pill, organ, liver, spleen, all that stuff. And yeah, but my blood pressure's been creeping up a little bit. It's like I started eating some vegetables again and some fruit, and I started gaining weight, and my blood pressure is going up.
Do you think it's the sugar from the fruit?
I don't know. I think it's the metropolol that they're giving me that I've told them at least a half a dozen times didn't work last time I was taking it, and obviously it's not working this time. But nobody wants to listen to Rob. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you really got to be your own advocate.
Yeah. Yeah, I take 6 in the morning and 2 at night right now. Plus actually I take 9 in the morning, but like I said, 3 of them are standalone stuff of my own.
And that's not counting how you need extra vitamin D with vitamin K, so it takes the vitamin D to the right places, and potassium, and what's
Yeah.
the other one that starts with an M? Like, you don't want too much of it, but they're saying,
Magnesium.
Yeah, that's an important one to have some of. I don't know if you can't have some of that with what you.
Magnesium, salt, and potassium chloride.
Yeah, because we don't get enough salt. They say salt, blah, 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 but we need salt because, like, salt charges, like, the water in your body, and certain salt we need.
Yeah.
And they lied about how much vitamin D we actually need.
I ordered some of that Redmond's real salt. That's pretty good.
Right on.
I was reading about it. Comes from some trapped volcanic layer. Ancient, centuries old salt.
Because you don't want the table salt.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some anxiety pills. I had some anxiety going when I was in the hospital. I was gonna tell Darcy, bring me a Xanax or something. But now my anxiety pills are right here.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm having, like, anxiety through the crap I'm dealing with, and I don't have a heart problem. I'm just amazed at you dealing with all this, and then on top of it, you're trying to keep yourself, like, calm and not, like, stressed out. And then these things are happening that makes your stomach clench up and makes you go loony in the brain.
Yeah.
You do such a good job.
It's when I was in the hospital and I couldn't sleep. They were giving me like a muscle relaxer or a tramadol or something, and they kind of helped, but
What's tramadol?
It's kind of a lightweight narcotic, just kind of like a super dosed up Tylenol or something, maybe. I don't know.
A fancied up Tylenol.
Yeah, hot rod Tylenol. But yeah,
Like a non-opiate Norco.
it's considered an opiate now, or a narcotic, but I don't know. But yeah, I was like, dude, just smoke a little bit of weed and I'll sleep like a rock.
Yeah, just some of your, like, little flower vape.
So yeah.
Flavonoids. I've heard that. I forgot what it was. Flavonoids. Zoloft for anxiety. I thought Zoloft is a depression.
Yeah, the less pills I have to take, the better.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one thing I put up there last week. It's like your doctor says meat is bad for you, but he'll give you a pill that has 27 side effects. Yeah. I know some of the shit I'm taking right now, is like, you start reading all the side effects: dizziness, nausea, diarrhea, depression. If you have suicidal thoughts, it's like, geez, man, I just taken this to, keep my heart beating. I don't want to like go jump off a building or something.
Or even the Skyrizi. They have can you take Skyrizi with what you got going on?
No, and I haven't been. I'm holding off on it because it suppresses your immune system. So I need all the healing properties I can get right now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of waiting to see. Like I'm like probably 2 months behind in taking my Skyrizi injection, and my skin's kind of hanging out like, about the same. Like doing this diet, I think, has fixed a lot of my skin issues. And it was working for Darcy too. Her skin was clearing up really good without taking.
Oh, without her taking anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because that stuff in the air, one of the chemicals makes like the skin and the eczema, like because it eats through your skin, so you'll get these random, like just really weird itchy patches.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at the sky today. I went out, and it was cloudy, but I was looking up and I was like, wow, this is the first time in a long time I haven't seen contrails, chemtrails, whatever the hell you want to call them. Normally they're like crisscrossed all over the sky. Today I didn't see nary one, not one anywhere.
Oh yeah, because they banned them for you guys.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
I keep forgetting that. We didn't have any for a couple of days, and it's been like 80, but windy AF. And then tonight on my walk, all beautiful in the sunset.
Yeah.
So I seen one in front. I recorded as I'm walking, and then I hit stop, and then I turn around and it looks like, oh, here's another one coming up in the east. So it's the south because that was the north, and recorded that, and then I walked down my horseshoe part, and I'm heading east, and there's another one.
Yeah.
So it's like, here they come again. But we did have some interesting colors tonight. I'm just waiting for it to upload.
Jeez, that was a hell of a link.
Oh, the salt, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that link's going to work. I didn't know it was going to be like a paragraph long. But yeah, you can get it on.
Be,
It's Redmond.
yeah.
It's Redmond's Real Salt. You can get a $10 pack or a $100 pack. But it's pretty good. It's got, it tastes like salt, but I don't know, it just has a kind of a slight, I don't know, kind of different taste. I almost want to say fruity taste, but fruit juicy. I don't
like
know.
GHB and Gatorade.
Yeah.
Orange Gatorade.
Yeah. Cool. It worked. All right. Yeah. Better worked with all this damn letters and numbers and everything. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I don't know. Salt different, I guess. A lot of people use Celtic salt. A lot of people use pink Himalayan salt. That's what I normally use is Himalayan salt, but I've been wanting to try this for a long time. No, it's ground up and good to go.
I got some Himalayan. I use it in my spells too, and then I have black salt.
Yeah.
Well, that's not for eating.
Yep. I saw some black salt in the grocery store the other day. Man, that stuff was expensive.
What were they selling it? Like, what was in it?
It was just a little round tub of it, and it was like, God, I want to say it was like $23 or something.
I wonder why it was like what salt it was.
It said black salt.
Because we make our black salt different. Like with ash and stuff, like you don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
Edible black salt. Oh, Hawaiian style black lava sea salt. Amazon $5.99. Himalayan black salt. They have some in a grinder for $7.63. These aren't. You've probably seen something really pure. Oh, like this one for a 1 pound. That's 1 pound though. It's 38. And then they have like a chunk of the black salt. It's like just a big chunk of salt. I wonder what it's good for. Learn something new every day.
Yep.
Because then if you look up pagan black salt. Because I make my salt with like the leftovers of stuff that gets scraped into it. Spells from before.
Well, my first article is this one. UFO collides with U.S. fighter jet, cracks canopy over Arizona. You guys see this one in the news lately? They make it like it happened yesterday, but it actually happened a couple of months back. It says an F-16 Viper fighter jet was reportedly struck by an unknown object while flying over the U.S. state. According to Federal Aviation Administration, the incident, which occurred on January 19th, involved an F-16 Viper fighter jet being struck by an unidentified object over Arizona. Right up there over you, Barry. The aircraft had been flying in restricted airspace over Gila Bend at the time. The object itself, described as an orange-white UAS uncrewed aerial system, struck the rear of the plane's canopy, causing the glass to crack. Fortunately, there were no reported injuries. Furthermore, at least 3 other reports of unknown objects were also made in the area, which encompasses the Air Force Barry Goldwater Range near Arizona-Mexico border. The incident is just one of 22 cases involving U.S. fighter pilots encountering or colliding with unknown objects over the state in less than a year. A recent report by the Department of Defense All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, geez, a lot of words there, also revealed that there have been hundreds of such incidents across the United States. Hundreds. Exactly what UFO was in the particular case remains unclear, although there is some speculation it may have been a drone operated by persons unknown. The findings of official investigations into the collision continue to remain under wraps. I don't know. You know, it's like, who's flying the plane? You know, do they just go home and, how was your day, honey? Can't talk about it. Or they're like, holy shit, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. You know, don't tell anybody.
Oh, you didn't put our little pictures up again.
Ah,
Yeah, I guess it depends.
yeah.
One thing I saw was something about some UAP they saw that had some sort of U.S. property stamp on it or something.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, was it that kind of?
It's weird that, like I was saying on Jason's show the other day, how as of lately, a lot of UFO sightings are turning out to be like, silver spherical, balls or whatever, or orbs, small things that are just flying through the air. It's like, what are those? Are they ours? Are they theirs? Are they ETs? Are they government, you know, secret mission stuff? If they are, they need to learn how to control them so they don't fly into fighter jets and crack the canopy. That'd be a oh shit moment if you were a pilot. Getting whacked and having your canopy crack. You're probably next thing to hitting the eject button.
They've had a lot of those little spheres, like, for a few years now. Seems like there's been more and more.
Yeah, like that bet spear that was found here, in Florida, and it reportedly did all kinds of weird things
X-rays.
and then disappeared.
Oh, it did disappear?
Well, I think the government wanted to do some experiments on it, and I think they forgot to return it.
Really? I
I
don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I don't think they ever got it back. They had it for a long time, but yeah, it would do weird stuff like move on its own or like vibrate or just do weird things. Put it on the table and roll it, and it get to the edge and stop, wouldn't roll off. Just weird things that a normal big ball of metal wouldn't do normally.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, the violent humanoid robot.
I'm trying to get the stupid video up.
Did you see that one video I sent you guys last night of like the AI person that makes all those like weird female humanoid robots
Yeah.
with like the fake AI guy who's like caring for them and wielding them, and they're just sitting there like all obedient and like while he's like fixing them. Oh my god, it's such a creepy fetish.
Yeah.
It's like you
Yep.
just want like a living doll, dude.
Yeah. Hey, the real dolls, man, they got it going on. Some of those things look pretty real, and now they're doing robotics in them. Pretty soon, it's just going to be a real weird world.
Yeah, but these were like like supposed to be like humanoid, so that it has like, human heads and stuff that are, they're like dumbed, almost like Dahmer, turning him into a zombie. And
Yep.
they just sit there like looking like all confused, like a Stepford wife to their robot part of their body. But it's like they can't, talk. They're obedient, and these guys, it's just creepy. It's like, it's just very creepy to me, because it makes me think of the people that actually get sold to become living dolls like that
Yeah.
just don't do anything but obey these men. And or it's like someone that has like somebody on like GHB constantly, like a date raper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got creepy vibes off of that. But this one, I get creepy vibes for a different reason. Violent snap attacks factories in a wild video. It was like Rock'em. The rise of the machines seems closer than we might like to think. Footage captured the moment that a humanoid robot seemingly out at its handlers like something out of a dystopian sci-fi thriller. This is what the machine uprising might look like. Next, a captioned an X clip of the alleged attack. In the unsettling clip, which was shot at an undisclosed factory in China, the bot is seen dangling from a factory floor near two men looking on cautiously. They appear to be testing the humanoid droid's capabilities. The two are chatting away. All of a sudden, the automated biped goes berserk, flailing its arms and legs in a spectacle that evokes a failed prototype from the RoboCop movies. Like, going crazy. At one point, the raging machine lurches, dangling the stand along with it, and the men try and avoid getting robo-bopped. During the ruckus, the computer falls to the floor while several other items are knocked off the table. The clip concludes with one of the men flanking the angry automation and dragging its stand back into place in an attempt to stop its cybernetic rampage. Viewers saw the malfunction as a sign that a robot revolution was upon us, with many the Terminator films. Went full Terminator, said one digital doom, while another apocalyptist wrote, Sarah O'Connor was effing right. This is what worries me about robotic surgery, observed another, concerning synthetic surgeons becoming increasingly, I don't know that word, in operating rooms. Indeed, this shocking incident comes as anthropomorphic seeming machines are becoming more integrated into our everyday lives. This past winter, Chinese film Robotics unveiled the very iRobot-esque D9 humanoid robot, which is designed to revolutionize the way we interact. Its cutting-edge abilities include walking 4.5 miles per hour, faster than the human stroll, navigating stairs, and even maintaining balance when knocked off kilter. Makes me think of those things we used to punch as kids, those big weevil wobbles. Or those wrestling cones, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the sand on the bottom. In February, Clone Robotics uploaded a video showcasing the Proto-Clone, an eerily realistic humanoid robot that's It's supposed to be the world's first bipedal musculoskeletal android, while the versatile bot is programmed to complete helpful tasks ranging from food prep to navigation. Skeptical viewers deemed the Frankenstein-esque creation dystopian and terrifying. So we'll see what you guys think.
Listening to a little Pantera there.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Good night, love, peace. Thank you for stopping by. Like, look at that thing, man. That's like crazier than. And its joints, like, it can go so many different directions that a normal arm can't bend. So that thing, like, throws a fit. It's got a couple box cutters
Yeah.
in its clutches.
Mm. Yeah, probably not good.
No.
Yeah, spirit in the machine or demon in the machine. Demon. Well, here's a weird one. Been watching that series From in the season where all the weird locusts are like attacking people. So in Utah, you got this insect invasion. Millions of Mormon crickets descend on Utah. Got this big, chunky little cricketeer here.
We got rid of our stuff, yeah.
I got crickets in my house tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local farmers and businesses have been badly impacted by the appearance of the insect swarm this year. Anyone with a particular fear or distaste for large insects might want to give Fillmore, Toole, and other parts of central Utah a wide berth, at least for a while. Known as Mormon crickets, these highly problematic pests cause headaches not only to local residents and businesses, but also for farmers owing to their penchant for feasting on crops. Motorists on Interstate 15 have found themselves driving straight through huge swarms of these critters, creating the oil-like slick from their remains that can in turn lead to accidents. In some cases, snowplows have been brought out to try to clear these massive piles of insect carcasses. And there was a video I would have played, but it had music and all kinds of other crap in it that was going to get me kicked to the curb, so I can't show it. But yeah, like when I say there's a lot of crickets, man, there's a lot. Like, yeah, when they say they bring out a snowplow type thing to shovel them off the road, there's like millions of these things. It's insane. It's like some kind of end of the world theme or something. Elsewhere, local businesses have been forced to call in pest control experts. Farmers have been left helpless in the face of losing entire crops to these invaders. For some, however, such swarms are nothing new. I remember walking down the Corn Creek Canyon as a little boy, sprinting through thick packets because we were so scared to walk through them. Local business owner Jed Christensen told Fox 13, "We're coming down Canyon Road and it looked like we were running through water. They would just part for us." So yeah, I've dealt with these critters before. But apparently they got a real bad run of them now. It's believed that a particularly dry winter coupled with the current mild weather is responsible for this year's infestation of these creepy ass mole insect Mormon crickets. Wonder what the if they have other denominations, if there's Baptist crickets and Catholic crickets, or are they just Mormon crickets? Do they ride bikes and dress in black? I was leaving the other day and I saw the Mormons coming down the street. I'm like, yes, timed it just perfect.
I don't know why every time you change the pictures, it gets rid of our whole like grid. It's weird. Get off.
Wow. Okay. Where? There it is. Put it in a weird place.
Oh yeah. I was trying to find my VIX a second ago. This is a trip. Stranger Thing, bizarre plant space scraper that will be entangled from an asteroid over Dubai. And they're known for having some pretty crazy landscaping. I think it's called the 21 Palms or something, where they've got all this land that they've built out into the water that branches off like 21 palms of a tree. Like the most elite live there. Something like that. But they've got some elaborate stuff going on out there. A skyscraper suspended from an asteroid in orbit over Dubai has been planned by a New York architecture firm. The proposed Analemma Tower, stretching 32,000 meters and anchored by resilient space cables, would feature homes, offices, and even gardens. The tower is envisioned to float in the sky, orbit the globe in a figure-8 pattern, and return to the same spot every 24 hours. It promises to be self-sustaining, powered by space-based solar panels, and sustained by air moisture and rainwater, which would be filtered and recycled in a semi-closed loop system. The tower's elevation height of 32,000 meters would mean that residents would get an additional daylight. The hanging tower would also be expected to reach speeds of 300 miles per hour as it moves through the sky. An especially unique amenity proposed for the space scraper is space burials, the act of launching human remains into space. Is that the same like flinger they use to like fling the satellites? You put on the casket and just fling it.
Instead of pumpkin chunking, it'll be casket chunking.
Yeah. New York-based architecture firm Cloud Architecture Office has outlined the technique that would be used to bring his project to fruition. The firm writes on its website, this system is referred to as the Universal Orbital Support System, which is based on the principles of a conventional. By placing a large asteroid into orbit over Earth, a high-strength cable can be lowered towards the surface of the Earth, from which a super tall tower can be suspended. Who thought of this, man? However, what's that?
My answer would be, hell no.
Oh my God, like, what are you thinking? And the cost, oh my goodness. However, the Universal Orbital Support System remains a theoretical concept and has not yet been built. The biggest obstacle is materials. While carbon nanotubes and graphene are strong enough in theory, we currently cannot produce them at the scale needed for such massive tethers. Bootsy. Bootsy. Please. To suspend something like a low orbit apartment complex, tens of thousands of kilometers of cable would be required. The proposed tower would be positioned in a geosynchronous orbit, an orbit where it moves at the same rotational speed as Earth, keeping it above the same point on the planet's surface. The slowest part of its orbit would reportedly go over New York City. It remains uncertain whether the proposed tower will ever become a reality, and if it does, when that might happen. It comes as plans were recently revealed for a 3D printed skyscraper built on the moon, which I was trying to find earlier. Ran out of time. The innovative 50-meter tall structure designed by British firm Foster and Partners will feature vast solar panels. The energy collected will be used to power lunar infrastructure at the moon's south pole. NASA and 3D printing studio Branch Technology are also partners on the extraordinary project, which aims to create a sustainable energy source for future moon bases. Images show the breathtaking tower that will be constructed printing technology. It will feature spiral-shaped structure with fold-out solar panels. These panels will unfold from the tower's top platform, harnessing solar energy to support critical power and communication systems. Um, and then at the bottom, they say other mega projects in Dubai. They've got the Burj Azizi, standing at 725 meters tall. This apartment building will have 133 floors. It's under construction and expected to be completed in 2030. Once built, it will be the world's second tallest building after the Burj Khalifa, which stands at 828 meters. Then they have the Seal Tower, height of 365 meters. The tower has over 80 floors, completed last year, and it'll open at the end of this year. It's got panoramic views and luxury amenities. Six Senses Dubai Marina is 517 meters tall. It's going to have 122 floors. It'll take the title of the world's tallest residential tower upon a 2028 completion, and their vision is to create wellness spaces that promote relaxation. Then they've got the islands, 2006, the artificial islands, Didura Islands, um, the full completion done in like the late 230s. So they have some of that going already, but they are very innovative when it comes to and such.
Meet George Jetson. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think I'll just take a one-story concrete block house.
So many people have like moved to Dubai over the years, or at least have like a connection to it, and there comes a lot of like their laws and their rules.
Yeah.
Just because I watch like some trash TV where like the people happen to like live in Dubai, so you learn like a little bit of it. Like some of my Bravo shows, they live in Dubai. Like how alcohol works and stuff like that. But the malls and the buildings are like a really big deal in
Yeah.
cars. And it's all flash.
Did
No
you
way.
did you happen to see the 4th of July display from Dubai?
Last year,
Yeah.
was that the drone show?
It was actually the New Year's Eve show.
Was it a drone show?
No, it was fireworks and stuff, but they had them all up one of these skyscrapers, that one of the real tall ones there. And it was pretty badass for a fireworks show.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah.
They're like the driest. They don't lie about, like, they're one of the first to like admit they do cloud seeding because it is so hot and dusty and miserable out there.
Yeah, like here's a see if I can pull this picture up. Dubai set a world record with epic New Year's fireworks display, and it only cost $6 million.
Are they shooting it over the water though, or like building it? 'Cause isn't it like so dry?
Let me show you this picture. There you go. They had them like coming off the tops of all these buildings. Like,
Holy smokes!
yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I was just kind of flipping through and I saw the show happening. I thought they had a video here, but apparently not. But yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah, they don't do anything half-assed. That place just reeks of money.
Yeah.
So much money.
Let's see if there's a video. Probably
No, Janice, I wouldn't want to either.
Yeah, here it is. Can't play the audio, but yeah, they just have all these fireworks like coming off the building. It's nuts.
Holy cow. Wowzers. Those are all fireworks, or is that
Well, it's fireworks and lasers
and
and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, there towards the end, it just goes bonkers with stuff. Look at this crazy shit.
they're like throw everything at them?
Yeah, it's got music to it, so you can't play it.
So what is that, like lights on the building right now?
Yeah, there's lights and lasers and all kinds of fireworks happening.
Oh, that is stunning. Wow.
It's nuts. It had a pretty, it ought to be a good show for $6 million, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and they can't have weed out there.
really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hmm.
They can have like some, like you can't be drunk in public, and like there's like laws about how you can have alcohol, and you get connections for getting like so much in your house, and there's certain days you can't drink alcohol. So I think people, I don't know, wouldn't get to really partake on anything and watch the show, but I don't even think you would have to. That's just amazing on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong with that one.
Exactly.
Shooting Roman candles out their buttocks.
Exactly.
Yankee
Hold
Doodle.
the beer. Watch this.
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yeah, every year here, somebody. It's Florida, so
They really stick a Roman candle in their ass?
I've seen it all pretty much. But every year, somebody here gets their hand blown off or something.
Oh.
I don't think we've been playing this party on the 4th of July, and I don't think we're going to play it this year because somehow we got like 3 or 4 gigs that want us all to play on the 4th of July this year. But this one party that we played for the last couple of years, it's kind of out in the middle of BFE, but the people in this neighborhood, I love fireworks, I mean, I've always liked fireworks. I had some bad experiences when I was a kid with fireworks, but I've always liked them. And last year, when I was leaving this gig, I was actually kind of petrified. I was a bit scared. I literally felt like I was in the middle of a war zone.
It sounded like a war zone. You sent that clip, and it
Yeah.
literally sounded like a war zone.
Yeah, I mean, I was just completely surrounded by rockets and fireworks and things blowing up and smoke, and it was just insanity. And I'm like sitting in my car, just like waiting for a minute to just punch it and go. I'm like, come on, dudes, give me a break here. I'm trying to leave. Yeah, it was just people don't play here when it comes to fireworks, especially out there where the party was in kind of Podunkville. Them good old boys had some crazy stuff.
Shoot.
There's a neighbor. They had to have shot probably $5,000 worth of fireworks just from one house, and there was like dozens of.
Some people like take this so serious where they like collect this stuff. They have their hookups. They drive like to Nebraska, or I don't know if you can still go to Nebraska for it. I used to have a friend that would bring a bunch back from Nebraska. I used to get quarter sticks of dynamite and all that in Mexico.
Yep. See, my brother was in the army, and when he came home, somehow he brought all this like smoke grenades and like real M80s, whatever they would have ate the stick with dynamite or something. And being the little brother, I found a bunch of that stuff in the closet. I had like, the roadside M80s. And I remember going out in the backyard, and we had one of those wells, with a handle on it that you pump. And it had a metal bucket hanging on it, put water. So I got the bright idea. Okay, I'm going to start with fireworks, firecrackers. Light the firecrackers and set the bucket on it, pop, the bucket barely even moves. So then I get, move up a little bit, and I get my M80s, the roadside ones that you get wherever, boom, the bucket would like, go 4 or 5 feet in the air. And then I used one of these M80s that my brother had, the army issued ones. I lit that thing, threw the bucket on it. That thing exploded and shot the bucket like 100 feet up in the air. And like, just when it landed, it was just like a twisted metal puzzle piece or something. My mom was like, what happened to the bucket? Our son must have got on it or something. Yeah.
And then you had the smoke grenades, not just like the smoke bombs you get at the gun show and everything that,
No, the
you
ones
get a little bit of color smoke, but
Yeah, these army issued smoke grenades. Yeah, they were
Like the actual smoke grenades.
like half the neighborhood was covered in smoke.
Oh my God.
Neighbors are freaking out, like thinking, pirates have come and set the city on fire again.
It's like smoke for cover to cover your whole team.
I remember some guys at school did the old exploding thing in the toilet and like completely destroyed the 8th grade bathroom, like cracked the toilets and yeah,
What would they use?
some sort of like real M80 type thing. Didn't get them from me, but yeah, screwed the bathroom up. But not near as bad as the kid that actually burnt the school down. So
On accident?
oh no. No.
Well, you can't just stop there.
Let's see if a picture comes up. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's my school.
Yeah, they are, Janice. Little small bombs.
Catalina's junior high. Oh, damn it. Share the screen. Click, clickety click. Bada bing, bada boom. School fire changed lives. Inspired heroism. Catalina's junior high school went up in flames. Principal Robert Braden scrambled to save records and ended up saving a man's life. But yeah, that's where I went to school, and that's the fire that burnt most of the school up. And yeah.
So someone threw something up in the rafters or an event or what? A toilet? What happened?
Well, I don't know exactly how.
Theoretically.
I don't know exactly how it started, but it started, and one of the kids that went to school is the one that started it. Oh, great. Now I can't get back to the pictures. Here we go. The old aerial view.
What room was it started in?
I'm not sure. It burnt the living hell out of it, though.
Accelerant used? Had to be, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was more than just
That's straight arson.
Oh yeah. There's another place over on Bolano Beach that I don't know anything about, but when they were trying to build it burnt down. Not once, but twice.
Damn.
It was one of the first hotels they were going to build right on the beach, like right on this major surf spot. And it got about halfway built. And suddenly it caught on fire one night and burnt down. So they rebuilt it, and it got about 3/4 of the way built, and it caught on fire again.
Nearby Pillar Point, Mavericks area. You can see from El Granada, Half Moon Bay, like, into Pillar Point Marina and all that. Well, they were wanting to build this beautiful hotel. I did stay there once it finally got built. Same thing, like right across. So people that have lived there are like, oh, screw this, like, ain't gonna happen. I think they tried 3, 4, maybe 5 times. That thing burnt down.
Wow.
Beautiful once it got up, but yeah, when I stand on my aunt's porch, like, I do see it. But I honestly didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, it says this fire gutted 19 classrooms in the old side of the building. Totaled more than $1 million. And Anna says, did they catch the kid? No. As far as I know, they didn't. Some people know who did it, but as far as I know, he was never actually caught for it. It's questioned. But yeah.
Wow.
So this one is, I mentioned this last week, I think, about the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident. Now they're saying a Russian professor suggests rocket mishap caused the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident. I don't know. Let's see what it says about this jibber jabbering. A Russian professor has offered a fresh take on the long-standing theory that the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident was caused by a rocket launch gone wrong. The 1959 case wherein 9 hikers perished under bizarre circumstances in the Ural Mountains has been the subject of considerable speculation for decades. Among the countless competing theories for what occurred that night is that the group's tragic fate was brought about by a rocket mishap that subsequently covered up. It was subsequently covered up by Soviet officials. The scenario was reportedly put forward again last week by a Russian professor who was nearly a member of the Doom Party himself. A friend and group leader, Igor Dyatlov, Peter Bartolome, probably butchered that, was a proverbial late scratch on the 1959 trip that later became the Doctor of Technical Science of Russia. One might imagine his near miss and personal connection to the case resulted in the professor taking a keen interest in determining what caused the terrible accident. At a press conference last week, he presented his case for a rocket theory and suggested by other researchers. The professor specifically argued that the preservation of the group's footprints over the vast distance indicated nitrogen acid exposure in the environment. This is only correct scientific explanation for what happened, he boldly declared. As for where the material may have come from, he pointed to a rocket that experienced an emergency flight interruption. In other words, that ship blew up after being launched on the night of the incident from a Soviet military base approximately 1,000 miles away from what's now known as the Dyatlov Pass. He posed that the immediate presence of high-ranking government officials at the campsite following this discovery of the hikers' bodies was indicative of their knowledge of the true nature of the tragedy and needed to quickly cover it up. As noted, the professor is the first to advance the rocket theory, and in fact, was part of a 2023 press conference wherein a panel of Russian scientists made the case for the scenario that in the form of nitric acid that enveloped the scene following the mishap, critics of controversial concept counter with the assertion, good Lord, man, this is like hard as hell to read. With that in mind, what's your theory for what caused the conflicting events in February 1959 in the Ural Mountains? Your best guess. It's an article on Coast to Coast AM page. But yeah, if you're not familiar with that, they found 9 hikers, found their bodies. Some, maybe it was a rocket mishap. Maybe it was a Yeti mishap. I don't know. They found these 9 hikers, and some of them were like missing their tongues. Some of them were like naked outside the tent. Like,
What?
even if you're gonna be in the tent, you're sleeping in snow. I highly doubt you're gonna be sleeping in the nude.
Yeah, unless you're on some crazy drug.
Yeah. But I don't know. Let me pull another thing up here real quick.
There it is. Oh, that's not for you to boot. To boot, to boot, to boot.
Yeah, it was an event where 9 Soviet ski huggers died in northern Ural Mountains in February of 1959 under uncertain circumstances. The experienced trekking group from the area, led by Igor Dyatlov, had established camp in the eastern slopes. Blah, 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 blah. The bodies, after the group's bodies were discovered, an investigation by Soviet authorities determined 6 of them had died from hypothermia, while the other 3 had been killed by physical trauma. 1 victim had major skull damage, 2 severe chest trauma, another had a small crack in the skull. 4 of the bodies were found lying in running water in a creek, and 3 of these 4 had damaged soft tissue of the head and face. 2 of the bodies had missing eyes, 1 had a missing tongue, and 1 had it's not funny, but missing eyebrows. Holy shit. The investigation concluded a compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward to the account for unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, avalanche, katabatic winds, infrasound induced panic, military involvement, and some combination of these factors.
Okay, I would go for all that except for the eyebrows. Like the tongue and the eyes, I could see like some sort of something eating those fleshy parts.
Yeah.
But, or even like on the ground, crabs or something, like wherever they're at, bugs eating those parts out. But the eyebrows.
Yeah. Doesn't I don't know. I'm no rocket scientist, but I mean, I'm sure a rocket, if it came falling in, your area where your tin is, and it was still, still had rocket fuel pouring out of it on fire, I'm sure it could. I don't know. It seems like it would burn the bodies up, not just remove their eyeballs or their eyebrows.
Like just select parts of their body.
Yeah, it just seems more like a cattle mutation.
That's what it sounds like.
You remove the tongue in this one and the eyeballs off of this one, and
Like Mr. Potato Head. Like, let's take his eyebrows, his eyeballs, his tongue.
Yeah.
Or you spoke evil, we're taking your tongue. You saw evil, we're taking your eyes.
Yeah.
But you heard evil, we'll take your ears. But the eyebrows.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Like one of the female aliens are like, oh, I would just die for her eyebrows. Please, honey.
If you go out, would you pick me up some human eyebrows?
No, will you please can I have those eyebrows? That's crazy. Hey, sister. Debbie.
What's up, weirdo?
Debbie.
Yeah, they may have been running from something. Who knows? Reminds me of that show I'm watching From. The monsters come out.
I still need to look that up.
Yeah, you got to watch that one. It's pretty good. If you like weird.
When you said From, I'm like, wait, the movie From? Or like, is there like another word that you're leaving out?
It's just called From. It's a series. FROM.
All right. So this one, we already had the flailing crazy. I've already talked a lot about how often, how soon you think before robots really start taking over the hospitals. Well, they're going to start out with doing things like this. Gearing up, AI robot nurse with creepy faking taking over hospital jobs, patrols halls, delivers meds, and tracks patient vitals. An artificial intelligence powered nurse robot that patrols through hallways and even distributes medicine to patients has been unveiled. The robot, with an eerie face, is set to replace hospital workers by tracking vitals while always keeping the same bizarre smile. Underneath the picture of the robot's face at the bottom, it goes, "The robot has a strange face and delivers medicine to patients." I mean, it's just a dumb cartoon face. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, what do they want it to look like? It's like a Rosie. Intended to battle future healthcare crises, Neurobot was built by the electronics brand Foxconn and AI computing company NVIDIA. The machine has been designed to combat burnout. The idea is to provide better patient care by allowing the machine to take over some tasks such as ward patrols, visitor guidance, and medicine or specimen deliveries. By doing so, they allow nurses more time to focus on other tasks. The Neurobot has a special tray installed inside of it, as well as eyes and a smile visible on its screen. They are really fixated on that face. Foxconn has also created a suite of smart hospital tools with NVIDIA technology, such as AI models that can track a patient's vitals. Giant AI models are created through supercomputers, and hospitals then train and test them in pairs. Medical centers in Taiwan, including the Veterans General Hospital, um, the Bashatung Hospital, Mazu Hospital, and Cardinal Teen Hospital, are already on board. The World the World Health Organ the World Health Organization warned that there could be a shortage of 4.5 million nurses by 2030 due to burnout. Could AI be the answer to this problem? My doctor got rid of me because he had burnout from COVID, and because so much stuff was going through, like everybody's stuff going through, like the apps, and him having to video chat people and then answer questions was just too much for him, and he had burnout and just couldn't handle like requests, like sending in requests for like medications and sending the pharmacy like records that they needed and all that.
Yeah.
Very burnt out. I'm thinking, dude, you have less patient, like you'd think you'd have more time, but they were saying back then and doctors had high burnout.
Yeah.
Foxconn claims it can cut nurse workloads by 30% and can take off pressure during visiting hours and night shifts. And see, that's like answering emails and things, and that has nothing to do with any of this other stuff, you know? This is stuff that we need nurses to do. That's what the nurses' jobs are, is to take the vitals and see the patients and talk to them and do all that. Like, what else do they need to be doing?
Yeah.
There's a nurse and there's a doctor. So you're taking away the jobs of the nurses. The hope is the future versions of the Neurobot will be able to talk to patients in multiple languages, recognize faces, and even help lift patients. So they can be like worked alongside, but like don't just replace the people, man. Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, discussed Foxconn's healthcare push during Computex, a leading global exhibition taking place in Taiping City, the capital of Taiwan. It focuses on advances in technology and startups and will conclude on the 23rd of May. Under the bot holding the little blue box, it says, the bot was designed to address the healthcare worker crisis. And then the lady talking to the bot. Creators hope that the bot could take over mundane tasks so workers will be less busy. And another eerie science-noid robot protoclone has been recorded coming to life. Oh, I think, what is this? Wait, I want to see if this is the one we just looked at. Ew, this one twitches, spasms, and comes to life. Oh, we'll save this one for next week. So anyways, I just lost that.
Yeah,
but what do you guys think?
You know, the sci-fi weirdo in me thinks that this could be cool, but the conspiracy theorist in me was like, no, because I know it'll be taken advantage of. You know, the good side, like I was saying, you know, last week or the week before, whatever. You know, if you've got a AI robot type thing, you know, that's in the hospital or whatever, you know, and you can ask it, you know, the doctor, whatever, can ask a question and it's going to search with AI and get an answer immediately or tell you the best way to treat something by, you know, mass searches in seconds.
Yeah, being able to pull it all together.
Yeah. I mean, that could be pretty cool, helpful, you know, or, you know, what drug is, you know, do we need for this or what, you know, what's the best.
It can cross-reference allergies or things that aren't supposed to go together.
Yeah. I mean, it can be good, but, you know, when it goes bad, it's gonna be real bad.
Like I can see if like you have to bring a vial of say like blood. I mean, usually the lab is at the lab. It's not like, oh, you have to go run all this stuff over here. I don't know, maybe. But in cases like that, if a nurse needs to be seeing patients, but also has to take like a load of samples up to like somewhere else, you throw it on the little robot, let it go take it. Like it's just like an extra helper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't take like the nurse away completely. Like the
Yeah.
nurse still needs to be doing your blood pressure. You can use the blood pressure cuff and, you know, do all that, but I still feel like there needs to be a human. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
Like-
got to be human touch, connection, whatever, you know. I mean, you don't want to just go to the hospital and it's just a sterile robotic environment with no
smiling.
Yeah.
Like it can have the cuff on it and the little, you know, thing for your oxygen, and you stick your arm in and it's, you know, reading your vitals, but at the same time you have the nurse there and she's asking you questions and, you know, talking to you, and then the things like blood pressure, blah 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 blah. Like, okay, you know, whatever. Like if it's an all-in-one, like the carts that they have, they move around, it's just put into a robot form. But a person still needs to accompany it.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was in, you know, ICU and all that, I mean, my nurses, you know, male and female, you know, they made a difference because they, you know, they were good at their job and they were personable, you know, and, you know,
bedside manner.
Yeah, they had a good bedside manner, you know, and I mean, they came in and did what they had to do, but, you know, also had conversations with them like a normal person, which when you're in that position, You know, I mean, something as simple as a normal conversation about cards or, you know, smoking weed at a concert, anything, you know, any conversations that I had with them, it, it gives you that human, you know, you're not just a number laying in a bed, like in a medical farm feel.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you that human personal touch to actually talk to a person on a normal level, you know?
Yeah, or it's like, or by the way, what do you think I should do about, blah, blah, blah. And people have heard things and seen different things and have, like you can put information into a computer, but something I learned like when I was getting my my degrees and everything in early child development and all that was nothing's like textbook. Like they can teach you certain things in the textbooks, but like so much of the stuff is like on the job. You learn it on the job. You learn different things with these, different kids situations, from working with the kids. And the same goes with patients. Like you might have heard this or heard that, and it's like, well, so and so doesn't really practice this, but my cousin's sister tried this and it helped, and maybe you could try this. Like the computer's not going to be able to do all that.
Yeah.
And
But
sometimes you get stuck in a loop and you just need that one person.
I mean, robots, you know, robotic. I mean, they got robotic surgery now. Most
Yeah.
all, you know, big car manufacturers, a lot of that stuff is all robotic now. You know, how many jobs did that replace? You know, I mean, even in my industry, making surfboards, you know, I still you know, everything that comes out of our shop is hand shaped, you know. I mean, we use electric planers and tools, but you know, the guys that are making, and like back in the day, we'd do 20, 30, 40 boards a week, and it was a lot of work, you know, because
A
it's all
lot.
done by hand. Now we don't make near that many, but you know, it was all done by hand. But now there's guys that have shaping machines that's all done by computer. You know, the board is basically shaped by the computer and a big routing bit, you know, and just bzz, 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 it does the whole thing, and you basically fine sand it when it's done. And, you know, to me, that takes the human, the soul out of the surfboard, you know. Like I've always done it by hand, the same process since the day I started to now, over 40 years. And, you know, I mean, each one is done by hand. So each one, you know, has a piece of me, or I don't know how to explain it, but you know, it's
Yeah,
got a,
your energy, your time like went into giving that love and making the shape and creating that.
yeah. And you do it with a machine and it just spits them out. But, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, and a machine can be good. Like if somebody has a board that they absolutely love and they want an exact copy of it, doing that by
Yeah.
hand is kind of hard. But if you know, laser scan it and it takes every possible dimension off that board and the computer can recreate it, you know, whether it's perfectly symmetrical or not symmetrical, whatever, it can perfectly replicate that shape. That's pretty cool. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've never thought that much detail is that important because, you know, every wave's different. Every spot's different, you know, whatever. But you know, the guys that are doing 100, 200 boards a week, you know, yeah, that computer shaping system is that's what allows them to do that many, because you'd have to have, you know, a ton of shapers. Like back in the old days, you know, with my shop at one point, you know, when we
With
were
the
doing,
platers and everything.
yeah, there's, you know, one, two, there was at least four guys shaping boards. A couple of guys sanding boards. I was laminating the crap out of boards. We had a crew that worked there, and it was a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, that robotic.
That's what makes them so special, though. Like, you see the guys in the shacks on the beach, and they're in there with the music, and they're all, putting their blood and sweat and tears, just everything into these beautiful boards made by hand.
Yeah.
And just like an Amazon.
That's just like the guy that makes my guitars. He makes them one at a time, all by hand. And, they have, his mojo, soul, passion, whatever you want to call it. They each have that craftsmanship in them. They're not made by a machine, I mean, Fender, Gibson guitars, they're great guitars, but, they're all cut out on a CNC machine, robotic things slapping them together. Are they crappy guitars? No, they're still good guitars, but they're not handmade individually one by one until you get to the whatever they call it, the pro custom shop or whatever.
I think there's a video for this one. But yeah, definitely handmade is the way to go in my book.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't care and you just want, need this or that or whatever. But
yeah,
the extra money to have it be a handmade board.
But yeah, I mean, you look at videos of Tesla or Chevy or Ford. I mean, they're at the production line. The majority of it is all robotic, this is putting pieces together.
The big arms.
Just like you take your car in, I can see, big places, Walmart, whatever, Pep Boys, where, these bigger car places. I could see, you go in and you get tires put on. I can see it all being done by robots. People, losing their jobs. Robot took our jobs. It's gonna happen.
Did you get the video for the robot?
No, I didn't. Let me look and see.
Yeah, it's like a weird looking video. I think I sent it to your phone too. But a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Hasn't been looking right today.
Not enough clinicians, rising patient demand, and a need for smarter, safer care. In Taiwan, nurse shortages make this challenge even more urgent. Fox.
Yeah, it's weird. I go in Walmart now and there's robots in there that are cleaning the floor and stuff. I swear one of them was following me around one night. Every aisle I would go to, it would come around the corner just like that. and they pull up to me, beep, 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 like wanting me to get out of the way. Like, damn it, quit following me, you creepy robot.
Platforms, training foundation models in the data center, learning in simulation, and running AI at the edge with NVIDIA Holoscan running on Jetson Orin. Powered by the FoxBrain LLM, Neurobot is trained virtually, then deployed in the real world, where it's already making a difference. Together, Foxconn and NVIDIA are not just building smarter hospitals, they're shaping a future where technology supports overburdened staff, creates more personalized treatment plans, and ultimately improves patient outcomes.
Pretty weird. Yeah, like I say, there's part of me that's like, oh, cool. I could see where this would be good. And then there's part of me that's like, no. I saw how the movie ends.
I've heard this song before.
Yeah. Wow, it got to be 2:00 awful quick tonight.
Yeah. Pros and cons to everything.
But yeah, I don't know. I know it's coming, you know. I mean, there's everything from, like I was saying, automobile manufacturing robots to, you know, computer guided surfboard shaping machines to sex robots to, you know, you can check in all these hotels and a lot of the receptionists are robots now. Or kiosks.
Yeah.
I mean, you go, you know, like I go in the Wawa store here and you place your order. You don't talk to a person. You just do it on a screen. And a lot of times, you know, you go in Walmart or any of the grocery stores and there's all these checkout lanes, but generally there's only one, if one, with an actual real person doing the checkout. Everything else is self-checkout. And I prefer to go through a regular line with a real live checkout person.
Exactly.
Pisses me off when I go to Walmart and I have to do self-checkout and, you know, they got a camera on you in your
They
face.
charge you for a bag.
And then once you check out, once you pay for your stuff and then you're walking out, then there's a real person there that's holding up the line because they got to check your receipt and make sure you paid for everything. Well, if that's the fucking case, have a damn cashier ringing your shit up. You know, if you're not going to trust me to do your job, well, maybe there should be real people doing that job.
And if I'm having to bag my own groceries, I shouldn't have to pay 10 cents a bag. Sorry. I think at least give me that kickback. And maybe you don't want to, you know, give the coupons out in the aisles, but at least give us the good coupons at Lucky's. Like, and, you know, if we got to do our own stuff, like those coupons come in handy.
Yeah. I've seen people. I saw a lady in front of me. She does the whole coupon thing. I've seen her a few times, and she was right in front of me this one time, and she had a stack of coupons and basically almost 2 buggies full of food. And with all the coupons that she used, her bill came out to like, I was like
100 something.
No, it was stupid. It was like $15 or something.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. Because I was like, I'm thinking, is really all these coupons really worth it? And then I'm like, when I saw the total bill, I was like, holy shit, I need to start doing that.
I used to be a real couponer, like when they had good stuff, and like I'd play Safeway when they'd have the buy one get one free, and I would go to like 3 different places. I'd start out with like the dollar store, get certain things there first, and then I would go check one other place, and then go to like the Safeway when they were having all the good buy one get one free, and I would get coupons, and I saved so much money every time. Like it took a lot of time to do all that,
Yeah.
but it was totally worth it. And
Yeah.
I still will sit there, like when they do give us the coupons, I have no shame in it.
Yeah. Like today, Wednesday is the day when we get all the coupons in the mail. And they went right from the mailbox right to the recycle bin.
Oh, those ones kind of suck though.
Yeah. But
Like,
this lady, I actually followed her out the store like some kind of stalker. And I followed her out. And I was like, hey, what you just did like blew my mind. And she was like, oh, yeah, I can show you how to do it. And, she was telling me, she's like, it's a pain in the ass because you got to clip all these coupons, and a lot of times she said that a couple of her friends do it as well. And they all get these like deals on things. She's like, right here, I got 4 bottles of ranch dressing. Why do I need 4 bottles? I don't need 4 bottles, but she's like, that's why I have several friends and we all trade stuff, that we have extra of, and it all works out.
and
But,
Lucky's, they print theirs out. Like you spend so much money and you get like these certain coupons. Like it might be a coupon from something you used, like for another, trip, blah, blah, blah. But they would have saved $5 on $30 or more, save $2.50 on $15 purchases. Like when I'm sitting there getting a $5 off your grocery bill coupon on top of it, hell yeah. I would actually go to the garbage can right by where the person who's supposed to watch self-check, and I would sit there and go through and pull out all of the ones with the grocery bags on it, because each of those meant like $3.50, $2.50, $5 off of your groceries, and give them to my mom before they expire. I'm like, here, I'm not going to go to the store that many times. You can use these. And I was living large like that for a little bit, and they stopped like a year ago.
it's like CVS do you have CVS's out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have pretty good coupons especially if you do that $5 or $10 a month thing. You get, I don't know, I think it's $10 a month, and you get instantly like $20 in coupons, and then they'll have certain items that are 40% off and 20% off, and like Darcy's gone in before and got dog treats and all kinds of crap, like
with the hair color,
3 bags of stuff, and it'll end up being like $12.
yeah, you just got to work it.
But cool.
Well, we didn't do cards this time, but
Yep.
maybe next time.
Yeah, it was like I looked at the clock and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, because I really want us to do Debbie's Oracle cards.
Yep. I had
Give
mine
everybody a little bit of,
right here.
I got mine right here. Give everybody a little bit of a positivity.
Yeah, my stepbrother lived in Alaska for several years. Screwed up because he wanted me to come out there. He's like, you got a free place to stay. All you got to do is get here. And I never went, and kicked myself in the ass all the time when I think about that. But yeah, he said stuff was expensive for sure. Yeah, like milk, all that stuff. They got to bring all that stuff in, just like when I used to go to the Bahamas years ago. Remember I went in the bar, and I'm thinking, American way of life, and I went in the bar and I'm like, yeah, I'll have a Budweiser. Well, over there, a Budweiser is an imported beer. It's like $7.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Whereas you could get a Beck's beer that was bottled in the Bahamas and is like $1.50 or something. Yeah, Alaska's pretty awesome. He lived in oh man. It's where the Coast Guard base was. Sitka, Alaska is where he lived. But yeah, I screwed up. Never went. He's like, dude, I can show you where to fish for salmon, and you can fish with a rock. You can just throw a rock and hit one. There's so many here. Wow. But anyways, I guess that'll wrap up another show. It's a fun show the other night on Jason's show, 10th anniversary.
Yeah. How quickly time goes by.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much we'd both been there for damn near all of those 10 years.
Yeah. People came and gone.
Yeah,
We've been there the entire time.
I started fading towards the end. Josh was like, you look like you're about to fall out, Rob. I was like, yep.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, it's not you.
Well, anyways. Yeah, Sitka looked pretty cool. Wish I'd have went. Don't have that opportunity anymore because my brother moved from there and he died. So that's never going to happen again. But one of these days, I want to make it there. Keep saying when I fully retire and start getting Social Security and all that, we're just going to travel around, go from place to place.
Yes.
I'll be knocking on Jamie's door one day. Hey, take and show me those big trees you guys got out here.
For sure. I'll take you rock hunting, take you to the big trees, take you everywhere. Some awesome California snorkeling sites in Monterey.
There you go.
Just sit out in the woods, have a nice bonfire in the forest, and look across the Highway 1 at the ocean.
Yep.
And have an abalone cookout. So that's where they got the diving.
Well, cool. We will catch y'all next time. I got 2 shows coming up this weekend for myself, 2 band gigs. Doing the one Saturday night that my friends put together for me as a benefit show, which is going to be fun. Got 5 different bands playing. I'm going to try.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to play or just like chill and watch it.
No, I'll be playing.
Right on.
And I'm going to try to live stream some of it because, like I said, there's 5 different bands playing. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of everybody. And playing at a new venue. Well, new for us anyways. Not super stoked about it because they don't pay very well. And I don't
the experience might be worth it.
Well, supposedly the tips are really good, so I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, they're kind of cheap skates on payment.
So what day is the benefit one? Saturday?
Yeah.
What time? Your time?
Starts at 5. I think the bands start going on at 6. I think we go on at 9, maybe 8 or 9.
So like between like 4 and 6 my time on Saturday. Yeah. Like if you put up like a link on your page streaming it.
Yeah.
If you don't have time to like hit me up and say, hey, I'm live right now, I'll just check your page.
Yeah. Yeah. If I do it, I'll shoot you a message. I'm stoked because I found my My GoPro. Well, it's not a GoPro. It's a Osmo Action camera, which is the same thing as a GoPro basically, but better. I had lost my batteries and I was fretting because, to get 3 new batteries and the charger was going to be like $100. Well, I found them the other day after being lost for like 7 or 8 months. I found them, so now I can use that camera again. I was like, damn it, I got to buy new batteries, and these are going to be expensive. But they were in the back of my my e-bike. They were in. I got like a pack on the back, and I found them buried in that thing.
Oh wow!
Cool. Yeah, I'll try to live stream some of that show, and maybe even Sunday. I want to try to start doing some of that.
Yeah.
Our Saturday show is going to be a little sketchy because we got a drummer that we've never played with that's going to be drumming for us. He's actually drumming for the band in front of us too, and so it's going to be a little.
Oh wow!
We haven't ever practiced with him or anything. We're just going to show up and grow up.
Gonna sink or swim.
Yep. But he knows most of the music, so.
Good times. Well,
Cool.
Thank you, everybody. It was good to see everybody.
Yep.
Needed this break.
Catch you next time. Probably be around for Paranormal Soup on Sundays, and then we'll be back again for Weirdo Wednesday next week. Catch y'all later. Good night.